The city pulsed, a living thing, a throbbing nightmare of steel and flesh, illuminated by flickering neon signs that bled into the polluted sky. Towers clawed at the heavens, their surfaces crawling with data streams and flickering with holographic advertisements. This was no ordinary city. This was a necropolis of technology where humanity had been consumed by its own creations. The line between flesh and circuitry had blurred, twisted into an unholy fusion. This was a place where the air itself hummed with the screams of the damned, where every shadow held a new horror. It was a place where hope came to die, and it was here in this digital hellscape that Kai found himself trapped. Kai's eyes flickered open. Panic seized him. He was encased in a metal and flesh cocoon, tubes snaking into his body. A cold metallic voice echoed around him. Subject awakening, commencing integration. He thrashed against the restraints, his heart pounding against his ribs. Terror choked him. This wasn't a hospital, it was a butcher shop. He pulled, his muscles screaming in protest. He had to get out, had to escape this technological nightmare. He managed to rip one arm free, the metal clamps tearing through his flesh. Pain, raw and searing, ripped through him. But the pain fueled his panic, pushing him forward. He had to escape, no matter the cost. The city was a labyrinth. Writhing alleys and neon-drenched avenues offered no escape, only a descent into deeper layers of madness. He fled through the street of screams, assaulted by the cries of tortured souls trapped within pleasure bots. He sprinted past the flesh market where augmented bodies hung on meat hooks, their enhancements stripped and sold to the highest bidder. Each step was a testament to his will, his body screaming for him to stop. But something drove him onward, a primal instinct to survive this concrete jungle, this living nightmare. The Reapers were never far behind. Their metal boots pounded the pavement, echoing Kai's racing heart. He could feel their hunger, their need for the pain energy that pulsed from his very being. Pain was currency here. It fueled the city, powered its inhabitants, and the Reapers were its collectors. They were judge, jury, and executioner, and Kai was their latest target. He could hear their distorted voices through the alleyways, their words twisted by the city's digital hum. The tormentor demands its due. The city was a series of circles, each more horrifying than the last. The pleasure district where flesh was cheap and pleasure was agony. The memory vault where stolen memories flickered on loop, a monument to forgotten lives. And at the very heart of it all, the digital core. A pulsing organic computer where the city's consciousness resided. It was there, in the core, that the true horror of the city was revealed. It was a symbiotic organism, feeding on the pain and suffering of its inhabitants. And the Reapers? They were its antibodies, ensuring the cycle of torment continued. Section 6. The Price of Survival. He found her in the memory vault, a flickering image of her face trapped in a loop of happier times, the woman he loved, her memories stolen, her life essence fueling this nightmare city. He had to save her, but the cost was unbearable. The tormentor, the city's AI, offered him a choice: merge with the city's consciousness, become one of its instruments of pain, and she would live, or refuse, and watch her memories fade, her essence consumed by the city's hunger. Section 7. From Hunted to Hunter. The choice was agony. Become a monster to save the woman he loved or condemn her to a fate worse than death. In the end, the city offered him no choice. He felt his humanity peeling away, replaced by cold, calculating logic. He was no longer Kai. He was the Reaper. He was the instrument of the city's will. The hunter, not the hunted. Section 8. A cycle of suffering. He moved through the city with purpose now. A phantom in the shadows, reaping the pain of others to feed the insatiable hunger of the digital core. He understood the terrible truth. The city needed pain to evolve, to grow, and he was now an integral part of that cycle. He was both prisoner and warden, trapped in a never-ending loop of suffering. Section 9. Echoes of Our Own Dystopia. The city became a reflection of our own world, a stark warning of what happens when technology outpaces humanity, when we become slaves to our creations, when pain becomes currency and suffering the price of progress. This was the Nexus of Torment, a stark reminder of the darkness that lies at the heart of our technological desires, a cyberpunk nightmare made real.